Brawlers, we have a problem, and the name of that problem is Landfall. I'm the Hermit, and today we're gonna be playing Szarel Genesis Shepherd. For 2 unjoined, we get a 2/5 flying insect druid, with you may play lands from your graveyard. Also, whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Szarel's power on up to one other target creature. But since this is all about Landfall, we care mostly about the first part. The second is a nice synergy with fetch lands and sacrifice lands. But playing lands from our graveyard means we get to Dust Bowl over and over again, as well as Strip Mine over and over again. Now, even if we didn't have those, Landfall is still really powerful, especially with the new cards from Edge of Eternities. So we have Ice Steel Explorer. You may play one additional land on each of our turns. You may play lands from your graveyard. And Landfall whenever a land you control enters, mill a card. So what we want to do with Szarel is not only get Ice Steel Explorer as our backup commander, but we want to play as many additional lands as we can. So we also have Seldinch, Azusa, Dryad of Elysian Grove, and Oracle of Moldaya. Even the Gritok Monster. That way we're gonna keep playing the lands over and over. And since we are gonna be wanting to play lands from our graveyards, we can keep our lands in our hand and play cards like Burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So always make sure you have your lands on hand, and if possible, just play them from your graveyard. If that wasn't enough, we have Greensoust Zenith from the special guest, which means we can tutor any of our extra land drops, or even, including Ice Steel Explorer, which might be the best one. But also we have the whole Landfall package, so we have Nissa, Lotus Cobra, Tireless Provisioner as a way to make more mana out of our lands. We have Tanuk from Edge of Eternities. Whenever a land enters, we deal 1 damage, but if this is the second time this ability resolves this turn, we get to draw a card. So I guess other than that, just your regular get your lands from your graveyard, Scape Shift, and we have both Sidecat Cove, Brisley Bill. We put +1 counters on stuff with every landfall, so we can make Szarel bigger, and then Szarel makes every fetch land into even more counters at something else. We have if a Lockhart, she doubles her power. If she has counters for Szarel, that becomes an easier win. And if it wasn't enough, we have Might Form Harmonizer, which essentially makes every landfall into a Tifa trigger, but for any creature we would want. It can even be Szarel, getting more counters out. And we have Ancient Wind Warden as Primeval Titan, Gladiolus. If we happen to want to go extra mean, we just play Gladiolus to route either Dust Bowl or Strip Mine, and then we just go to town, destroying our opponent's lands until they concede. So the rest of the deck is gonna be other interaction, including Warsaw Rage. We get to replay lands, Molten Collapse, Witherflown Command, Urgent Necropsy. If we mill enough cards, then these can become Casualties of War, Binding the Old Gods, and District Mascot just as a way to deal with enchantments. So because we're also going to be generating tokens with the guy Scoot Swarm and Spring Heart Nantoko, We're gonna be trying the best card from Edge of Eternities, Umbral Color Zealot. We can sacrifice another creature or artifact to surveil one. So that's the deck. Let's head into the queue and become part of the problem and not the solution. So yeah, looking back, okay, against Liber Overlord, that's a good one. They really got some nice stuff. Well, first they got this Liber Overlord, but I think they also got an enchantment that makes slivers at the end of turn. It makes two 1/1 slivers, but they get the buff from all the other slivers. Slivers, I think, are more kind of aggressive in this current state. They don't have every mana sliver, but I think they have one. Regardless, we have Strip Mine and Dust Bowl, so as soon as we get the chance to cast our commander, I guess we need black mana here. Okay, let's play the Caverns. We will play Spelunking. I think we're short. We need some additional land drops, but right now we can deal some damage to our opponent. Start target not creature and kill a creature. Striking Sliver. So the question is, do we play Tower Shell next turn? Mirror's Wake, that's a good one. So if we go for the turtle, we get 4 more mana, which we can use on Druid class. But we cannot go to level 2. However, it's still an additional land drop, so we should be fine. They can 2 Reforce Slivers for 3, so they can use it twice here. And a Weft Sliver. So let's start by adding 4. Okay, put it on the field tapped, but with Spelunking it's untapped. Here we're gonna Strip Mine right here. Put the counters on Fanatic of Ronas. Get an additional land. Opponent only has 8. Okay, they have enough for 4 turns if they tap out. But there's a chance that's gonna make it so we win next turn. Unless they have lethal here. With 2, 3. Yeah, they can search 3 times and still have 3 slivers back. So yeah, Mirari's Wake is doing the heavy lifting in this match. The first sliver. Okay. Oh, but it doesn't put it on the field. Okay, I see. Yeah, it was. For some reason I thought maybe I was thinking of a different sliver. But I thought Sliver Overlord put them into play. Opponent kills our cop. Fair enough. And I guess that's why I should put the counters on Szarel. Binding the Old Gods. Okay, first we play Tanuk. We add the mana. Play Binding. Kill mana with Pinch. And just keep on destroying the lands. Pass. Return a basic. An opponent only has 2 mana. So yeah. Okay, they're gonna attack with everyone. Look. Okay, yeah. Like I said, we are the problem right now. Something needs to be done, either Strip Mine, maybe even an Ancient Tomb, although we don't play it in this deck, but it's also gonna be a problem. Well, maybe it just can be contained in higher power levels, but I think Strip Mine is too oppressive for this format. So yeah, I was saying, I think before, looking at the games from yesterday's video, the one about Tanuk and Warp with Big Red creatures, I realized we were playing a lot against Tifas and Bristly builds, and we eventually ended playing against Thalian the Gitrog monster. So I was later, when I was checking the Brawl Reddit, I realized that there are there's an overabundance of Landfall decks. So yeah, I mean, if you want to take advantage because it's so powerful, it's fine, you can do that, but I think it might end up making the Brawl format feel a little stale. Here, let's try to get lucky. Liquid Command. And destroy the signet. And we got River Tears Outlook. However, we milled one of our extra land drops. So here, let's get Dryad. Okay, wash away. Fair. Stola from opponent. Right, I forgot to mention they were playing Stola. So they're gonna be all about casting on creatures. We'll see if it's how controlling they are. Maybe they are more on the mid-range side. But for now we keep Snakeskin Bell up. And we'll see what they do. Bitter Triumph. We put the Veil on. And opponent is gonna draw because they lost the 4 life themselves. Burgeoning. Okay, opponent is attacking, we're gonna block. Ganjo. Okay. I guess we needed to shuffle Burgeoning. But alas. Get a couple of lands, play Burgeoning. So every land we draw from now on is gonna be getting hand for Burgeoning. And let's see if we get something good. Okay, Professor Onyx from opponent. That might be. I think that might be game for us.
You really want to fight me? You'll learn the
Depending on what we draw here. They make us sack, they attack us, they draw a card from Ishtola. And no counter still. I mean, technically we're not in the worst position. We have a decent mana advantage on opponents, but they have card advantage and they're gonna be they are the kind of deck that has a lot of removal, so let's give it a couple of turns, see what happens.
Come on, there's gotta be something.
Also, we get to attack Professor Onyx. Okay, that's a Baleful Mastery. Round. Okay, let's play Tifa here. Level up the class, put the ability on a forest, and go after Professor Onyx. Okay, opponent can animate Restless Anchorage, but they cannot use it to block if they do so. Solar Transformer, that's not triggering Shtola. Temporal Manipulation, okay, that does. And they get to draw a card, so that's... they don't. I was gonna say that was one of the better uses of Temporal Manipulation we've seen on the channel. They mill disallow. Eternal Wanderer. Are you gonna
I'll help any way I can.
let us keep Tifa? Okay, they blink the forest. It's gonna come back as a land, I think. Memory lapse. Let's keep it in the library then. Million of the Veil.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
Yeah, I think opponent might have this one. I mean, they were pretty ahead earlier, and they didn't get that much further ahead, but I don't think we're gonna be getting the lead back. The One Ring. Okay, yeah, that's enough, I think. Good games, Shtola. And I guess we kind of flooded on lands. We need a little bit more action. So that's really the one of the few instances where we lose. Either we run out of gas, we only draw or none. We don't draw many extra land drops, or we face against another landfall deck that just goes faster than us. Also, counter spells and interaction can do it, rats. So we're not too oppressive, but the fact remains if we get to draw one of our land destruction lands, then we just steamroll our opponents. Which we might be able to do here with Archdruid Charm. So let's play Explore. Play Florahedron as a land. What is the move here?
I just need one big break.
And we have greens on Zenith. Okay, so let's pass. We're gonna... Maybe we just do it here. Let's do it. Charm for... Riveteer's Outlook, I think. Where are you? Here you are. Okay, we do that. And next turn we can green sound for Icy Explorer. With this spell we might be losing. Maybe it's interaction, which means we are safe. We are still ahead, I guess. We mill sort of Wind Grace. I guess that was the previous commander for this deck. But with Szarel allowing us to play lands from our graveyard, maybe that's better than getting them back. And the growing things seems to be a good secondary plan. So, yep. And we milled more lands. So we Hardened Bonds, we're gonna want to play that, get Szarel, or maybe Priestly build, and maybe mid Priestly build, but we'll see. If Icy Explorer is still alive next turn, then we should just play the Gitrog monster. That's gonna be a full hand, and then some. Opponent's getting Scalding Tarn and Nicol Bolas. So what do we discard? Ancient Green Warden. We don't want double the mill, but we might want double the build triggers. So we start with playing Bill, Tifa. Okay, can we do everything? 7, 8, 9, 10. We can do everything, in fact. So, Hardened Bonds is gonna be the last thing we do. We don't want to get all of our lands just yet, so let's play the one in our yard. And here we go, Prismatic Vista. So now our opponent is incentivized to kill Tifa rather than either Gitrog, Ice Steel or Bristly Bill. Traveling Chocobo, that's another land. Or rather, more landfall triggers. And look how far ahead we are against our opponent, even if we didn't get any land destruction. We are still like twice the amount of lands ahead. They have 5, we have 10. Even if they rat here. Okay, that's the best rat they could have, and they transform Brawl, so good on your opponent, but we might still be ahead because of the mana advantage.
Ooh, tickering pays off.
Okay, yeah, we are definitely ahead. Let's get Oracle of Moldaya. We're gonna strip mine. And this is gonna get us hopefully another landfall card. Arboreal Grazer, no, that's okay. Terra's under. So yeah, opponent only has 3 mana now. We have our same 10.
Slinging spells is so easy.
We have 11 actually because of the Grazer, so even with the discount, they're not gonna be able to cast more than 3 spells, and they have to be 2 mana instants for that to happen. Meanwhile, we're gonna keep strip mining them. Put counters on the Grazer. And that's a good swarm. Okay, Dale's in, but we're gonna just keep doing it. Let's get Traveling Chocobo. They bolt that. We are okay with that. And yeah, opponent pretty much had no recourse there. They were just gonna keep. I mean, they had to use a counter spell to get us to keep one of their lands, and I really don't think that's where they wanna be at. Meanwhile, we just keep a really hefty land advantage, and we just keep playing the game. The Hardened Bond is gonna keep throwing us cards. All in all, we were just too far ahead for them to come back. And that's the kind of problem that I meant where I said Brawl has a problem now, and it's something needs to happen. Either you make it so every landfall the correct play deck with the Landfall package just goes straight into Hell Queue, which might not be the best, or you ban some cards. Maybe actually sending them higher on the ladder might be, or on the queue. It's not a ladder here, but yeah, maybe that's the better outcome or the better option. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise banning is fine too. I don't think there's gonna be many people complaining that Strip Mine got banned. I know I wouldn't, even though I am playing it right now. So here we have Progenitus. Honestly, I have no idea what they're trying to accomplish. Hopefully something fun. Let's get Commercial District. Green Warden away. Here I'm afraid we don't have just quite enough mana. Yeah, for this. So let's get Szarel. And we're gonna get a basic here. Put the counters on the tortoise. And next turn we're gonna have a Susa. Oof, those were some mills. Gitrock Monster and maybe Portuning. We have 2 lands which we can still play. While also keeping our land drops because of Szarel. So, and even if they kill everyone here, I guess we can. Oh. Can we do this? Okay. Yeah, we have just enough. So let's Overgrown Tomb. Conduit of Worlds. Let's get our final Surveillant, I think. Rakust Theater. Oh, we still have more land drops. So the Shockland tapped. And we can use Conduit to replay Gitrock Monster, so. Okay, that's Kolos. Really nice opponent. Gitrock Monster. Soul of Windgrace and Umbra. No, we cannot cast any spells this turn, so we need to draw an instant here. Otherwise, we are at the mercy of our opponent. Let's play the Mortuary then. Tireless Tracker. Yeah, we could have used that. So we play Fanatic of Runas, because it's not a spell, but an activated ability. And opponent is gonna activate Colossus. Ooh, they're not. Farewell. Okay. Then let's play Soul of Windgrace. Alright, we need to do that first. Play the land first, then we would get it back. Play Hardened Bonds, we sack a clue. Get a counter on tracker. Origin Necropsy. Okay, we're gonna pass, we're gonna keep up these two. Because Hardened Bonds triggers once each turn, we can use it on our opponents, and we have all three abilities of Soul of Windgrace at our disposal. And here we're gonna see the advantage of playing a Landfall deck is even if our opponent plays Farewell, we are still keeping the mana advantage because almost no one plays a land hate, and that's on the account that land hate is not that. Not only is it not prevalent, but it's also really not good. Bring to light, let's see what they get. And some fall. So let's discard a land, draw a card. Now we should play Tifa and District Mascot. The mascot is gonna get Hardened Bonds. Where is Soundguard? Yeah, I guess we played Soundguard. We want to keep up Snakeskin Veil so that we can trigger Hardened Bonds once again. We are almost out of basics, but we should be fine for a couple of turns. It is Progenitus, Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, that's maybe the one thing they could have that beat us. Let's send the Omniscience back. The Multiverse. And Leyline Binding. Let's see what they bind. Hardened Bonds? Yeah, fair. And if this is a rat, we can Origin Necropsy back. One with the Multiverse. If we were to do that, we need to keep Szarel on the graveyard. Okay. Decline. So, Origin Necropsy. U 0 U 0. We need 8, so these two. Then we're gonna toss Ball and the Ward 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So let's use the same toss ball. No, just forest. And then we get Szarel, we play the forest. Oh, we don't have an additional land. Okay, right. Progenitus from opponent. So that's gonna kill us in 2 turns. Which means we need to kill our opponent first. Here we play Lombra, we miss out on the case, but we have a creature that if our opponent attacks, we get to kill them on the backswing. Also, I guess we're gonna gain enough life that this is a 3-turn clock now. Escape shift. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be engaging in some attrition game. We're gonna sacrifice only 6, maybe just the basics then. 7, 8, see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna name insect. Where is insect? Right here. You. Maybe I needed to do more. Yeah, that way we had 2 lethal threats. That was on me. Oh, but it seems we got there. So, yeah. Yeah, actually planned. That was my intention all along. So yeah, opponent was able to keep a high land count, but even if they got their splashy spells, we pulled ahead. Them choosing one with the multiverse, as well as was it? Oh, Leyland Binding, and yeah, they didn't have too much. They could have done better with the Remager and Ultimatum, or at least I think they should be able with the cards in the deck. Maybe they could play a couple of extra turns, expropriate, and 2 extra turns so that they essentially get 2 turns, but still, who knows what they would throw. Maybe they still draw lands, but also they could attack with Progenitus, who knows. Hard to tell. Either way, good game Progenitus. So yeah. I mean, what else is there to say? Right, the land hate, really not great. Confounding Conundrum might be one of the better ones, but still, I wouldn't put stock into it. You also have Fall of the Tran and the other one of the Silexes. When you use it, you destroy all non-lands and everyone gets to keep up to 4 lands, I think. Yeah, that's one of the ones that can make a comeback against us, but like I said, they are not great, not everyone plays them. And here we're getting burgeoning value. Flare of Cultivation from opponent. I mean, unfortunately we don't have black mana yet, but I guess we will try to mill something with Ice Steel Explorer. Okay, we got something, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Let's keep Primeval Titan. We are out of burgeoning, but we do have Primeval Titan. We're gonna get two surveillance or two of these lands. Maybe we just needed to get one of these and a surveillance. That way we could play one of that land if we happen to throw it or mill it. So here we this again, go for another swamp. Channeler, doesn't matter what you bounce. Or maybe you just draw cards. Okay, that's fair also. So here we play Gitrog Monster. Yep, that's the game. They needed something better, something that combos with Jarok. Well, something that synergizes with Jarok. I meant that way they just get some form of advantage, even if it's some land drops or yeah, the cultivator that gets lands from the deck, something like that to catch up with us. But also they needed to remove our creatures, they needed to remove our graveyard. And yeah, it's a little bit of damn if you do, damn if you don't. If they kill the Ice Steel Explorer, we still have Primeval Titan, we have Gitrog Monster on hand, we have our commander. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Okay, and we have removal for one of their artifacts. They're gonna be trying to ramp for Ulamog. And yeah, if we remove their artifacts, we're gonna slow them down, then we're gonna get the advantage back by getting all of our land drops or our landfalls. Hope of Kirapur. And we get Ice Steel Explorer. As if we didn't have enough advantage. Lava Spurboot, that's a good one. They can, if they get to 11 mana, they just play Ulamog and kill us. Here we play Grazer, we can block Hope. Which means they cannot use its sacrifice effect. And I think we might be winning this one soon. Let's get Ice Steel first, then we play a land, we mill. And I think that's how we win here. Opponent got stuck on 2 mana. And yeah, we're just gonna have a bunch next turn. I guess that was the achievement for 5,000 games or how much, however much. I know because I was close last time I checked. And speaking of achievements, I during the time I took off, I almost managed to. Well, I didn't almost manage to. I got to Mythic and on playing Limited, but also I was thinking about trying to get double Mythic, but it was. I just didn't have the time for it, so I'm at Platinum in Constructed. And the planet's playing Tanuk. Okay. We drew our Torque, but a little late. Opponent's gonna remove our fuel tank pister. Okay. They got stuck at 2 mana, so they decided to concede. Happens, it happens. Also, we don't want that to happen absolutely in this landfall deck, so we are 40 land deck, and maybe there's an argument for playing more, especially since we in the Progenitus game we almost ran out of basics. You can put in more basics, you can put in more fetch lands. The Cabaretic ones, I think we only have 2, even though we can play multiple of them. I don't remember how I built this deck. Oh, and finally we're against another landfall in Priestly Bill. We go first, so a little sad Gemstone Caverns. Okay, we can work with this hand. So let's take it slow, I think. Yeah. Chromox from opponent. So maybe not the wisest. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have kept this one. Oh, where's my overgrown tomb? Right here. Let's get Tifa. And we'll see. Okay, that's gonna grow twice. Make 2 insects. Also, notably, Nantuko is an insect, as is our commander. I still Explorer is an insect, and the one that makes everything into Tifa is also an insect. That's some balls. Okay, here let's play Nisa, and we'll pass. We just need to get to a turn where we can't really explode with Tifa, hopefully after we play Szarel. Which it seems our opponent is making hard for us to achieve, or at least to get to the point where we live to it. Aftermath Analyst. That is concerning. Here we get polluted delta. Aftermath Analyst of our own. Let's see what we mill. So that's 3. Is this the game? I think so. We must repulse the insects. And attack all. Okay. They go all the way down to -1. Yeah, even if they chose, I guess they could, no, that only puts it to 0, so, yep, again, Landfall wins. Against our opponent was also playing Landfall, but getting Landfall against Landfall is not what I wanna see Brawl. So should we call it quits here? Let's play another one, see what happens. So yeah, now what else can I say about stopping this deck? I guess being on the play might be one of the best ways to stop us. But as we see, we also have access to burgeoning now. So the chances for a comeback are slim and slimmer. Maybe burgeoning also needs to be a ban. Yeah, there's just too much stuff for Landfall. And I don't think there's a way around it. Here we're gonna play Bill, play Florahedron, opponent is gonna have Jarok mana for next turn. We just need one more land to play Szarel. Do we do it? Attack all, and next turn we're gonna try to put the counters from build into Szarel, which in turn will put even more counters on build. So here we go. I guess we should attack. If our opponent trades for build, we're just gonna take it. Okay, it seems like they don't. So let's put... we will play Insane Wind Warden and we'll see what happens here. They need to have a gear hold that kills our stuff. That would be the best. Thassa, just to draw more cards. That's not it, I'm afraid. Also, Szarel is a 6/9 now. Nice. World's Outrage. And I think that's lethal. We just double the counters on Szarel. Yeah. I just realized we don't need to do all that much. Mm-hmm. 2020. Good games. And yeah, I think something needs to be done in order to Brawl to keep being somewhat healthy. Either, even if they ban just the lands from special guest, they need to do something about Landfall as a whole. Even if it's just keeping it contained against other landfalls and maybe even just against Hellq in general. I can see that being the way forward with Brawl. Otherwise, I really don't want to get paired against a landfall deck. And I think I might be insta conceding fairly often if I don't think our deck can beat them. So, this is it for now. Remember to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.